Hi everyone, welcome to Empowered Expressions. Today I'm with Dane Lewis. Now he is a laser tattoo removalist and I'm going to be covering his tattoos. I'm here working with Dane today. We're doing what do you call it? It's not really a contra thing, it's a work together kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to be covering Dane's tattoos. This side I'm going to be covering with airbrush, which is what I do with brides. And the other side I'm going to be doing a paint demonstration with a different technique that I use. But I wanted to do this today and I wanted to interview Dane because I'm fascinated with what happens. There's actually in today, once upon a time when I was younger, the toughest things women did were we triple pierced our ears. So I'm so on trend or on point or whatever they call it now. And now lots of women have tattoos, legs, arms, everywhere.
Yep.
Whereas when I was younger, the only people that had tattoos were men who were truckers or in the Navy, right? And now there's a trend for people to actually have their tattoos lasered away and disappeared. And I wanted to talk to Dane about that whilst I'm actually covering his tattoo up. Hoping that we'll be able to, well, we're all mic'd up, so you should be able to hear me over the airbrush thing. But it's fascinating. We were talking earlier. There's no set age limit, is there? What sort of ages? Tell me that about the people.
All sorts of demographics. So I've had people who have got their first tattoo at the age of 18. I think I had a lady in her 70s come through and get something lasered on her neck.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's all sorts. So I think most people are. I guess they're just going through a little bit of change, or they just don't associate with the tattoo that's on their skin anymore. So they want to either remove it or evolve it into something different by getting a cover-up tattoo.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you don't, so you're not a tattoo artist, you're literally, you do laser tattoo removal.
Yes.
And the thing is this actually had to be invented before it could be done. So we've had to wait for technology to catch up to create the lasers that are going to actually take away this particular color pigment out of the skin.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. Different types of lasers have particular settings that are drawn to different pigments of color. So.
And do they actually dissolve the pigment of color, or does the pigment disappear and dissipate into the skin to be flushed off in the lymphatic system?
Yeah. So the ink pigments absorb the laser energy and are shattered, and then basically triggers an immune response, and that immune response drains that broken down particle through your lymphatic system. So
and it can take a long time. Yeah,
it
can take a long time to actually remove tattoos, because my brides or my clients, a lot of them are now in the process of having their tattoos lasered away, which is how we got in touch with each other, because I had questions to ask. Because sometimes I found when I actually cover people's skins that some of the tattoos have actually keloided. So you can actually see like the raised pattern of the tattoo that you can't see until I've made it into a skin colour. And we had a conversation about this online. And I've learnt through talking to my clients and you that sometimes it's because the initial tattoo was taken a couple of layers too deep. And some of the girls that I've worked with, it's because it hurt. It's like the more painful tattoos have kind of left this outline scar. And I spoke to you a little while ago when we first started chatting about whether after you've actually removed the colour, which we'll talk about how many sessions it can take, and you're left with that keloid scar, do you have a laser that can actually flatten the keloiding of the scar so they're completely flawless, like no tattoo was ever there?
Yeah, so there is a particular type of laser called a fractional laser, and using a fractional can break down that scar tissue and give you like that flawless, like there was nothing there in the first place. I would say 90% of tattoos we see have some form of scar tissue in them from getting the tattoo in the first place. So it's super common.
And how many, like if we were, so there's a lot of red here, in here, if you were to remove this, how long, how many, does it depend on the skin or what? I know it's expensive, and I know it takes a lot of goes to get rid of it completely. But it's such a trend now that's available to so many people, so they can really change what they do. I've worked with a lady in Sydney, she had 12 done, and it was still quite dark. Well, it was half the depth that it was. And again, it was a little bit keloided or scarred.
So yeah, it is very tattoo dependent.
Yeah, right.
So, you know, someone could have, you know, 2 different tattoos on their body and they're both going to fade at completely different rates. So when you take that into consideration, it's almost, I shouldn't say how long's a piece of string. But it can sometimes be like that. You know, the general rule is it can take anywhere from 3 all the way up to 20 treatments for a complete removal. So I made a reel recently, basically putting it into perspective where, you know, asking how many treatments will this tattoo take to be removed can also be can be related to someone going to the gym for the first time and asking their PT, how many sessions will it take me to lose 5 kilos? You know, that's a very open-ended question because, you know, everyone's body is going to metabolize all things differently. So it's very much so the same with metabolizing broken down ink. So that alone is a huge factor, but then it's, you know, you take into consideration where the tattoo is on the body, you know, how good the circulation is there, how good of an immune sort of response will happen in that location of their body, the pigments used, how heavily the tattoo was done in the first place. So, you know, it's very different between outline as opposed to shading. The inks are completely different densities in the skin. So it's going to take, even in the same tattoo, different amount of treatments to remove that tattoo. So it's a very tricky question to answer, but it's the #1 question people ask.
And is there a lot of training involved in learning how to remove tattoos?
Yeah, so in Queensland, it's governed by Queensland Health. So you need to complete two certificates to allow you to apply for your trainee license. And then from there, you do 100 hours of supervised training underneath the radiation safety officer. And then basically from there, you have your full use license. If you want to start your own clinic, there's further licensing required. But to become like a tattoo removalist, 100 hours of supervised training. And I imagine that the equipment that you use is pretty expensive. Yeah, it definitely ranges in price. Because you have to get specific lasers to do specific things. I mean, the most common machine is what's called a Q-switch Nd:YAG machine. Perfect for your blacks, reds, oranges and stuff like that. Darker colors. But you also have different machines called like pico lasers. They are sort of the more expensive ones on the market, and a lot of those can target basically all colors. So awesome. Doesn't that sound interesting, everybody? Isn't this fascinating? The world of tattoo laser removal. Do people's freckles disappear when you take away their tattoos? No. Okay, that's interesting, isn't it? It's only drawn to the ink. To ink, the ink. So they've actually designed a laser that actually is drawn to the material that ink is made out of to pigments, slice that through their skin. What you were saying about how the tattoo dissipates through the skin, I wonder if someone who's really healthy, who has a faster metabolism, who's like fitter, would actually be able to absorb the ink quicker because their lymphatic system's working better. So, you know, the question is, those at home, is health and how healthy you are, is that a factor in how fast you actually can have your tattoo removed, or how fast your body will absorb it? I'm a big believer in that. For sure. General health of the client is a huge factor. Huge factor. Because it's your immune system response and your lymphatic system. So you could have the most expensive, best laser in the world, and this person could just be super unhealthy, their lymphatic system's all clogged up. It's not going to metabolize that ink away. So it's going to take more time, more treatments. 100%. Fantastic. It's fascinating, isn't it? I imagine people don't think about their health when they want to get their tattoos lasered away. Not at all. A lot of the clients that I'm using, so my tattoo is what I do, obviously, is, well, not obviously for you guys at home that don't know, is I temporarily cover your tattoos for a day.
for special occasions like weddings. I'm a film and television hair and makeup artist. I have been for 42 years. And so we're both disappearing people's tattoos. A lot of my clients that I find now are sometimes halfway through laser tattoo removal, so you can still see it. And I've found, we were talking about this earlier, that they are psychologically traumatized by their tattoos. Some of the tattoos, and I know you've found clients like this as well, the tattoos they got when they were really younger don't define them now, and they really want them gone. You know, I think a lot of people, Dane and I were talking, think that that you're just removing like a bad tattoo, which you probably are, but a lot of it is tattoos that they really don't want anymore. They just don't want them on their body. I'm wondering if many people, and you may not even see them after that it's gone, get their tattoos removed and then go and tattoo something else in the same spot. What's the skin going to be like, the quality of the skin after all this is done, and after you've gone through, say, 20 treatments? Would you be safe to tattoo the skin again?
Yeah, I mean, as long as the removal process was done in a way to preserve the health of the skin.
Okay, so is there some that is not? Does it thin the skin, having a lot of?
No, I mean, personally, we require at least 6 weeks between each treatment.
Yeah, right. For healing.
Yeah, for healing, you can leave more. Of course, the more you leave, the more time it gives your skin to heal and recover. So the safer it's going to be. But most people want their tattoos removed yesterday.
Yes.
So they're here 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So, look, you can go too aggressive. You can come in for the first treatment and just go way too hard.
Right.
And that's going to almost set the tone. Potentially you will create damage, scar tissue from that treatment number one. And if that's the case, that can prolong the end result as well.
So it's really up to you as the tattoo removalist
100%.
to call the shots
for
your clients as much as possible.
Yeah, because I mean, you
have the expertise.
Yeah, that's right. But you also don't know what that client does as soon as they walk out that door.
No. So
they could be walking out of here and going and sitting in the sun for the rest of the afternoon. And that is terrible. That is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Because that's going to really significantly increase the chances of like pigmentation damage and things like that. So look, if it's done in a way that is to preserve the health of the skin as well as achieve the result, tattooing over that, perfectly fine. Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
When our lymphatic system is going to, when the inks are breaking down and the lymphatic system is going through the body, are we just weeing it out, or is it collecting somewhere in an organ? I say this, I'm reminded of, there was something happening, I think it was Bali, and there was some henna tattoo, obviously different, that was used. It was a black ink henna, and it actually killed people or poisoned them.
Wow.
So I was fascinated to learn, a bit like Botox, really. They haven't done a test on Botox. Not that I'm into that, but if you are, that's perfectly fine. But it's like, where does it go when it absorbs into your body? Does it drop into an organ and sit in the base of an organ, like your liver or your spleen or something like that? Or we just don't really know, do we?
I mean,
or is it like, because your lymphatics are designed to flush things through your system and you wee stuff out?
Yeah, you sweat it out.
Yeah, and you sweat it out.
Yeah, and I guess the thing is, it's going through all your lymph nodes, so it's sort of, potentially it can get caught in lymph nodes.
Yeah, right.
I guess there's a potential of it being caught in, is it your liver? I think it goes through, because that's where it processes through. But I guess the thing you got to remember is, the same process is happening when you get a tattoo.
Well, that was my next thing. So I'll just turn this off. I also heard something just recently. Well, actually, that doesn't matter. I heard something just recently that the ink that you're having when you're actually having tattoos is actually poisoning your body. It was some guy who was really against tattoos. That actually, each time you have it, you're actually putting poison into your body. And somebody else answered and said, well, that's making us tougher, mate. So,
I mean, the process of getting a tattoo is injecting a foreign matter into your body.
Yeah.
I would have no idea what ingredients are in tattoo.
No,
No idea.
no.
And I don't think anyone would. Maybe
No.
tattooists would, but like
Yeah,
in reality, like that's what you're doing. That is the process.
yeah.
You're injecting ink into your
And it's
skin.
like tiny little needle pricks of like little scars
Yeah.
that are creating
Yeah, so
lines.
and as soon as you get that first line of ink tattooed into your skin, your body is automatically into a immune response
Yeah,
mode because it's like, what is this? Like it's almost like when you cut yourself and you have like dirt go into
Yeah,
that
yeah.
cut. It's kind of like, what's that? We need to
Yeah.
heal it out,
Foreign
and
body,
they
yeah.
heal it out. It's exactly the same as when you get a tattoo, and it's
Fascinating.
pretty much the same as when you're getting tattoo removal. You're
Yeah.
creating a trauma to initiate that immune response to then heal it away.
Right.
So, yeah, I guess, look, are we poisoning ourselves by getting tattoos? I wouldn't say we're poisoning ourselves, but we are probably do something that isn't a natural thing to do.
No,
You
yeah,
know?
but it's been around, tattooing has
So
been around
long.
for decades.
So long, yeah.
Long time.
Yeah.
You know, I have a girlfriend in New Zealand who's going to go to this special island. So she's a Kiwi. She comes from, I think she's Samoan or Tongan or something. She's going to a special island to have the old-fashioned way.
That's cool.
Yeah, I know, the old-fashioned way of being tattooed by just the women in the tribe. She's
Yeah.
invited me along.
Wow.
To film the process,
Wow.
so I can bring it to you at home, and I'll be incredibly honoured to be asked to be part of something like that. Being, you know, a blue-eyed blonde who's not Tongan or Samoan,
Yeah.
to be part of this sort of process, which
Wow.
is a very historical thing. And they do it with, you know, sticks and stuff. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not done with sterilised needles and things. It's done in the
Yeah.
ancient ways,
Yeah.
which means it's more. It's like you're being marked by your tribal stamp or something like that. That's all the wrong words that I've used. However, it's kind of like
I
that.
know what you're getting at.
Yeah, but it's fascinating. Tattoos have been around for a long time. I'm fascinated. So, you know, I hope you've enjoyed that. I'm going to get on. We're going to do a little bit of tattoo covering now. So please sit back and watch as I magically make this disappear. It'd be fun, I swear. Okay, I need my face for my phone. There we go. Right, so this is a 2-color process. The first thing I do is actually use a lighter color, which covers up. It's like a layer thing. Covers up the ink. You can't just use one color. It's all very, it's tricky. It's all color matching. It's a difficult thing what I'm doing as a makeup artist. And I tend to be one of the few makeup artists in Australia that actually specialises in this, because it's a tricky thing to do. Let's find my little lid. Dane's been looking forward to this because he's never had this done before.
Yeah.
So I have a special. This is an airbrush gun, and I airbrush this product on. I'm about to put this I'm putting a compressor on that's going to push air out and colour the skin. So we could start with violet spraying. And Dane's going to scare his daughters.
Hopefully not scare them.
Well, surprise it's 2 daughters. But see how we're getting this nice light colour. And then what I do is I colour match Dane's skin after that. So it's quite a quick process with the airbrush. It's not unpleasant. Like, it feels quite nice.
Actually, has a nice smell to it.
It does, doesn't it? And the trick to doing this is you've got to move fast and you have to work fast. But the paint dries fast. It needs more. It's a fun thing to do and I really like it. I often hand paint freckles on people's skin so that it matches the other arm. Super fast drying, this sort of thing we use in film and TV. Product lasts for up to 48 hours. It's non-transferable, which means it doesn't come off on the clothes. It dries really fast. Right, just send some more. It does come off on your clothes. It's smudge proof. It's waterproof. You can swim in it. You can surf in it. It can actually last up to 3 days. Dane's going to wear it every day for me and give me some really good feedback. I've been using this product for years now. It's a very good product that's specifically designed for tattoo combo. Airbrush in circles, so it makes the product on nice and evenly. You just got to be fast when you do it because it's drying quickly. Sometimes the colour, the bright colour of the tattoos are harder to find. Like when Dane's doing actually when you're doing the laser tattoo removal, you work in sections, don't you?
Yeah.
How do you actually do it?
Yeah, so it's a single pass per treatment. So yeah, you just work your way through, keep the client as comfortable as you can.
Does it hurt?
It's pretty uncomfortable.
Do you numb the skin beforehand?
So we do recommend.
Even if you're numbing it?
No, it doesn't.
Flexible clients are quite comfortable.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, we get the clients to apply the numbing cream before they come in. Let it do its thing for anywhere from an hour to a couple hours.
The emblem cream that you get.
Yeah, it's we recommend a product called Numb It.
Yeah.
It's very similar to Emlock, but we find that it just works the best. So makes it a little bit more tolerable for the client. It obviously doesn't make it completely pain-free, but it definitely takes that edge off. So
I've heard that it was actually more painful having laser tattoo removal than actually having tattoos. I find it hard to believe. I don't have any tattoos, so I don't know what sort of pain is involved. Seeing how you have, you've obviously felt it on your skin.
Yeah.
So you know what it feels like. You need to know for your client.
It's another tricky one. It's almost like comparing apples to oranges. You know, with a tattoo, let's just say for argument's sake, a credit card size tattoo would take an hour to get the tattoo. To laser that, it would take about a minute. So although the pain is higher, getting it lasered off, it's so much quicker, so it makes it that little bit more easy to tolerate.
Yeah.
It's just a completely different feeling as well. You know, it's getting lasered. It's almost like you can't describe what it feels like because it doesn't feel like anything else.
Yeah.
You know, most people describe it as the feeling of getting a rubber band flicked on your skin just over and over and over. But other people have different versions of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be kind of comfortable, but you know, obviously the end result is well worth it. Well worth it.
Right.
You know.
No pain, no gain, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes people opt for like a cover-up tattoo, but most of the time, shouldn't say most of the time, but it's hit and miss whether that cover-up turns out in a positive way.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, you can see the tattoo underneath coming through.
Yeah.
And, you know, if that tattoo that they're trying to cover it has negativity associated with it,
Yeah.
you still know what's underneath that cover-up tattoo.
Yeah.
So you'll look at it and you'll see this dark patch where that tattoo used to be because it had to cover it, and you'll think it's still there.
Yeah,
so you're not actually ridding yourself of that,
No,
that negative energy.
It really needs to be ridden. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's the way to put it, negative energy.
Yeah.
And some of them are very negative. The feelings that are associated with the tattoos that people want removed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, people are removing them for all different reasons. But yeah, it's the ones that have, you know, trauma attached to them. It's nice to be able to do that for people, you know.
It is, isn't it? I really enjoy doing it. I
Yeah.
enjoy doing it for brides to give them a quick beautiful day because I know that it's like it's a really good service that we're doing.
Yes.
You especially being able to remove it for people.
Yeah.
So it's permanently gone because it like they wouldn't want it gone for no reason. But
That's
how
right.
are you going? So
Yeah, good.
so this is, you know,
It's nice. It's like,
disappearing your visual identity,
yeah.
which is, you know, and I can see around here, so we're talking about sometimes the scarification. So this one's like you can see it's raised. you can never see which ones are raised on you until I do something like this. So when it's actually finished, you'll be able to see the raised one.
Yeah, wow.
So you can see it like it's quick process, really.
Yeah. Super quick.
But what it takes to actually, and it's quicker than thinking. What it actually takes to remove, to make it, and your skin looks flawless. That's the thing that I like. And that's the thing that a lot of brides like, is that the skin actually looks flawless.
Yeah.
And you know, it doesn't look absolutely flawless whatever these days. I think with removing tattoos or hiding the tattoos, they want the skin to look perfect. Like you said, if you've got the old tattoo and you've painted a new tattoo over the top, the energy is still there in the old tattoo. And it's about the memory of whatever, you know, has caused that needs to go away.
That's the thing, like, I've got, you know, a couple of tattoos. Most of them, I remember.
You remember why and how?
Well, not even that, I just remember what was going on in my life around the time that I got each tattoo.
Yeah.
You know, I remember conversations that I had with my tattoo artist. I remember the morning of, you know, that type of thing. It's just, you get little snippets of that time of your life when you chose to get it. So,
Yeah.
you know, if potentially you're going through something that's not related to the tattoo, but if you're just going through something in general at the time of getting that tattoo, it's going to flash back those memories as well.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's quite a big deal getting a tattoo, isn't it? Really.
I think it's a
When you
lot
think about it.
more with the
Well, more than people
psychological side of
realise.
things than I think
Yeah.
people realise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now I'm just mixing the second colour up. I'm mixing it with the base colour and give like a little bit of a tan because that's too light for you, obviously. I'll put the light colour on to, it kind of negates all that navy blue that needs to be done. And then I mix by hand the right colour. Just start putting a more skin tone on Dane's skin. So it gives them a more creamy look rather than a pale look. It will actually match with his skin tone. And put that extra layer to cover the tattoos.
So you've been doing this for 40?
42 years I've been a film and television hair and makeup artist. I've worked with 4 prime ministers. I do pretty and ugly, so I can make it look like you've gone through the windscreen of a car with your face, which I love to do. Or I can make you look beautiful, like the belle of the ball.
Wow.
Or handsome in your case, you know. Like I said, I've worked with 4 prime ministers. I've worked with, I used to work with MTV. I used to work on Home and Away. I've done, you know, some famous TV commercials in my day.
Wow.
And I've had, it's always varied, always fun. I never get bored. I really enjoy doing this though,
Yeah.
more than anything I've done for a while, because I don't have any tattoos. So I get a perverse pleasure in covering them up. And I love creating as clean skin for people. And there's something nice about the perfection that's involved in that kind of clean skin process. But yeah, I've loved my career. It's really nice to get flying around the country to do this now. My brides, which is great. I thoroughly enjoy that. But more than anything, I really like you. I love being able to provide a service that covers up tattoos for brides, especially and special occasions. I do actors and performers, so I do it for TV and film as well to be able to create clean skin.
Yes.
And colour match it. I know it looks different, doesn't it?
So cool.
It's fun. Dane's been looking forward to this because he's never had anything like this done.
Yeah.
So it's fun to have it done on a temporary thing.
Yeah.
Temporarily. And he's going to show his daughters. He's got 2 daughters, so they're both looking forward. They don't know what Daddy's having done. They know it's something. And they're only, what, 2 and 5, did you say?
Yeah.
They don't know what. So Dad's going to surprise them with clean arms without any tattoos. Be interesting to see.
Yeah.
It'll be a fun video
Yeah.
that you're going to create with them.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't see it. Wait to see their reaction.
Oh, yeah, it's so cute.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen some videos of little girls when daddy's got a beard and daddy's shaved the beard.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the funniest reaction, they're completely blown away.
Who's this strange man?
Yes, oh my God, they're doing so different. What's going on? No, daddy, what happened to your face? They've all known as dad with a beard their whole entire life.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just going to turn this off. So this is the fun thing with this is the airbrush. The guns get clogged really fast and then you have to swap them over.
Is that just the product itself?
It is,
Yeah.
exactly. The product dries really fast.
Yeah.
And it dries inside the, there's a lot of moving parts inside these guns.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of little moving parts. So I always work with several guns, never just one. Always several.
Yeah.
Because you don't have time to, it takes ages to pull it apart and clean them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just go from one to the other, it's so much better. Oh, it's a trick tab.
It's a sensor tab.
Oops. I just run a bit of water through that one. Yeah, it's looking good. So can you see the top of your arm? It's looking a bit better, a bit more skin colour now. Slightly light coloured tan.
You're right though, you can see all the
You can see the raised bits?
Yeah, all the raised bits.
And there's nothing I can do about that.
yeah, no, it's just super interesting to see how
interesting.
much is there.
And this is the only way
Yeah,
you can actually see them,
yeah,
is what I do.
yeah,
Because you never know when they're there.
yeah.
And you'll now, after we've done this, you'll now know where they all are.
Yeah.
Which is something that you never knew about in terms of this. It's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's an optical illusion what we're doing. And so what I'm doing, I'm making the skin as perfect as I possibly can get it, but I can't cover the stars.
Yeah.
And the whole idea is so that when people see you and they see you in a shirt or whatever, the eye is not drawn to the ink.
Yes.
Right, so and that's what people do. They see the tattoos, and a lot of the time, people in this day, not so much this day and age, but kind of, can be very judgmental, and they judge you because you've got tattoos. Something to say, which is not cool. I've worked with many people with tattoos, and they get judged unfairly, And you know why? I'll tell you why. Because I've been a makeup artist for so long. It's Hollywood. Blame Hollywood. Because in Hollywood, we have the bad guys wear black, and then they've got, red hairstyles, and they've got tattoos. And it's like in the old days, cowboys, the bad cowboys wore the black hats, and the good cowboys wore the white hats. Exactly the same thing with tattoos. Hollywood and movies have made the bad guys have tattoos and red hairstyles and wear black. And the good guys wear pastels and often blonde hair, and they're light coloured hair, and and we've been indoctrinated in generations of indoctrination of what bad guys and good guys look like.
Mm.
So when we see people walking on the street with a lot of ink, we can't, a lot of the time people can't help themselves, especially the older generation, because they've been indoctrinated.
Yep.
By what, oh, this person's going to rob me, or this is really bad. In America, it's very prevalent, and it's a coloured thing. It's a race thing, the black guy's the bad guy, which is not true at all.
Yeah.
But again, it's complete indoctrination.
Mm.
And they don't realise it because they've had it on their TV screens and in their movies for their entire lives. So their fathers, their grandparents before them, and mothers, and and that's where it all comes from.
Yeah.
That's why it's so hard for a lot of older people to understand.
Yeah.
Don't spray your hand for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I would like to have a lot of spray on the hand. That's my lovely pink Scottish looking skin. And I just put a little black spray, just carry it forward. So it's not so, it's more like the fascinating which one of your cut. Looks like you've got a watch mark there, but it's not, it's actually a tattoo
Look
mark.
at that now, I'm like,
Fabulous, isn't it?
yeah.
So interesting. So interesting. But the colour match is really important. So if I was doing this for film or something and I needed to, I would actually paint freckles, which I might do on Dane's arm. Because at the moment you can see that it's very opaque looking and really perfect looking. Women love their arms to look like that. But if I was just doing one arm and the other hand, like me, I have freckles on my arm. You can see some of the freckles. I would paint the freckles back, which I'll do with Dane's. And again, that just creates this, the eye is not drawn to it.
Yeah.
Almost like a robot.
Prosthetic.
Yeah, it is like this. But it's a delicate process.
Yeah.
It's only quick because I do it a lot.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've got that airbrush, I've got sitting down there.
Yeah.
So I don't waste time
Yeah.
trying to fix something or getting stressed. But see,
Yeah.
you would never have known that was raised there, would you?
Oh, I said, I watched what's that on my wrist.
Yeah, there you go. I just transfer just a tiny little bit of colour down, just to what to do. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint some freckles on Dane, and you'll get to see what that looks like and how it's done. Let's put some water in this one. If I don't rinse a little bit of water through the guns fairly quickly, they'll all just be clagged up, painted things. So I just get a darker colour. I have this beautiful dark brown and a golden brown, and we start with my little freckle maker. And again, it's about you'll see, about the sense of where the eye is drawn. So I should put a bit of this on me. And different skins have different coloured freckles. So Dane doesn't have dark brown freckles. Neither do I actually. We have kind of golden brown freckles. So I've got to match the freckles and colour-wise. It's all about colour. All about colour and what's a new one? Colour and design. Sorry, colour and what the eye can see. And the right colour freckles matter. I'll just get like a little. That's freckle mix. And again, this sort of product, you've got to move fast. You've got to move fast, you've got to work fast. And the reason why the freckles are going on is so the skin doesn't look so opaque. And I'll do this, I will do the same thing on the other arm, which is going to be, a different process. Now I'll do something, a different colour. Because underneath all the tattoos, Dane's probably got quite a few freckles.
I've got so many. So many. Sometimes forget that I have them because I have so many of them.
Yeah. Well, you have the thing is you've got tattoos on freckles on your body.
Yeah.
So you'd have golden coloured tattoos. I mean freckles.
Yeah.
And they just kind of dry.
Yeah. Eldest daughter Zoe, she's
got freckles already?
Yeah, she's got the red hair, the blue eyes,
Yeah.
porcelain skin, and she's got the freckles all across the roof of the bridge of her nose.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, it's the cutest thing ever.
Actually, you've just reminded me, women are getting freckles tattooed on their face now. It's a thing.
They sure
They're
are.
getting freckles tattooed on their face. Once upon a time, we wanted to have clean, flawless skin.
Mhm.
And remember a little bit.
Yeah, you're spot on.
And they want freckles put on the skin. I find that completely ridiculous, but that's just me. So I'm a little bit older. And, sometimes fashion is weird. But yeah, having things like that, it's just odd.
I've seen someone before and they've had like multicolored freckles tattooed on their face, almost look like sprinkles on like a cupcake.
Like freckles.
Yeah.
Like they're like fairy bread freckles.
Yeah. I found that interesting. But
Just
again,
leave that for now.
it's just a version of self-expression.
Yes, it is, and that's what tattoos are all about,
That's
isn't
what
it?
it is. Just expressing. You know, it's expressing yourself through inking your skin.
Yeah,
You know, I've
and that's
realised
what this generation is doing.
100%. You know, people express themselves through the car that they drive, the
Yeah.
colour of their hair,
Yeah,
or
their
like the
hair
way
colour.
they do their makeup.
That's
Like
right.
it's and that's all
Exactly.
it is, you know. And
All
Yeah.
expression. There should be no judgment.
Yeah.
It's all arty, and people are doing and being whoever they want to be.
Yeah.
And they should be allowed to do and be, you know.
Absolutely.
But again, it's like, does that make sense to you? The Hollywood thing,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
movie thing.
'cause it's
When
in
you're
your
in the
face all the
boy, the
time.
bad guys, the bad
Yeah.
cowboys had black hats and good cowboys
Yeah.
had white hats. It was
Yeah.
quite literally
Mm,
black and white.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So this is what this feels like now. So feel it because it's dry.
Wow.
I know. So it feels. So it's completely dry now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy
I know, it
how
feels
quick that
amazing.
is. But yeah.
I know that
Okay.
speckles look a little bit random, but if
Yeah.
this totally looks red, I've got to
Yeah.
put something on there, otherwise, you know.
Yeah.
And they'll just settle down. So I'm just gonna. I might just dust a little bit of powder on it, so if it feels tacky at all, this will just make it a little bit smooth.
So
Especially in the
cool.
creases. It's interesting, isn't it? Do you like
So
it?
cool. Yeah. I
How
love
do
it.
you feel?
I'm just,
your arm
I don't know.
roll up?
I'm just excited. I'm just, you know,
Because
like
when you
I'm
put a
so
shirt
happy
on you
with
with the
it.
sleeves, it's
Yeah,
going to look different.
So different.
And
so
it will
different.
last. So Dane's going to leave it on for hours, for days.
Yeah.
Until it kind of breaks down.
Yep.
So I always like to put a little bit of powder just in there
Yeah.
and under here where
Yeah.
you start sweating.
Yeah.
Just in case, because when you touch it now, it feels like skin.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating when we look. So when you hold your arm up, please, and have a look at in that.
Yeah.
So there's scarring there.
Yeah. It's
that
everywhere. It's
Yeah. So there's
It
also,
is
and some
everywhere.
are deeper than others.
yeah. That's what I mean. Like
Like around here?
90% of tattoos we see have scar tissue in them.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at my arm now, I'm like, it
You
is
can
just
see,
riddled.
and you can't see it
It's riddled.
until it's like I do something like this.
Yep.
It's fascinating, though. isn't
Yeah. Yep. So cool.
it? There you go.
Oh,
I feel
awesome.
that just feels a little bit better.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's good, isn't it?
I'm not used to having my arm shaved though. I think
Yeah.
that's why it feels different to me because
Yeah.
I'm used to having hair on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have to get, when I do airbrushing, everyone, I have to shave the area that I'm going to do and the surrounding area, because the air that comes out of the airbrush makes the hair stand vertical. And we have hair all over our bodies, even like all over your back. You have no idea how much hair you've got on your back until I start spraying you. And it makes the skin look rough, and you can actually, it just makes it look rough. Like there's a tiny bit here that you
Mhm.
missed, and you can see the hair.
Mm.
But everything is, a really good job. Men always do a great job at shaving because they shave all the time. So they're always really good at shaving. Hair doesn't always grow down, it grows down, up, sideways.
Yeah.
Do you have to shave people's before you laser?
If
Because I know that some lasers can kill hair.
some lasers can, the laser we use doesn't destroy hair at all. It can take the pigment out of the hair color,
Yeah.
but it continues to grow its natural color. No, so if people come through and there's too much hair in the area, I'll just get that off there. Yeah, sorry, I stitched you up there. If there's too much hair in the area, we just clipper it. We don't shave it because it can sometimes agitate the skin. So if we need to, we get them to a few days before.
Look at that.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, that looks amazing. That looks so good. I'm really happy with that.
That's so cool.
I know it's weird. Does it look weird? How long have you had your arm
Oh,
in for a
jeez.
while?
Yeah, since I was probably like 20-ish.
And it's going to, each time you look at it, because it's going to leave it on for a few days, each time he looks at it, it's either going to get used to it or it's going to freak him out more. And that's something that you're going to be able to do posts about and reels about. This is about, like, because we're talking about, so me as an artist and him as an artist, but what we're both doing is we're covering tattoos. Dane's doing it in a permanent way with laser, which is a process, and I'm doing it in a temporarily for like a one-day thing for a special occasion. But everybody, when I cover their tattoos, has the same sort of reaction. It's just like wow, you know.
Yeah.
Often, like Dane hasn't seen his arm looking like this for a long time. And the reaction of his little girls is going to be extraordinary when we see that. But looking at you in the camera there, look, because it's the same colour. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you're the same colour you.
Yeah.
I've got a little bit of makeup there, sorry about that. But it looks amazing. So are you happy with your clean arm?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, it's cool,
It's so
isn't it?
cool.
Dave was really
So
excited
cool.
to have this done because he's never had it done.
No.
So it's been fun doing this together to bring this to you guys today. I hope you've enjoyed learning about laser tattoo removal and temporary tattoo removal for a day. We're going to go off and have a cup of tea or something now and have a break. So you guys have a beautiful day. Thank you for joining us. And I look forward to bringing you another guest on another show. Have a beautiful day, and thank you to Dane. So make sure, know what's the name of your business?
Clean Skin Laser Tattoo Removal.
There you go, Clean Skin Laser Tattoo Removal. I thoroughly recommend him. It's been really interesting learning about the different things about tattoo removal and the skin and lymphatic system. So you guys have a beautiful day, and we'll talk to you another time. Bye.